Hello and welcome.
Thank
Would you
you.
please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Well, I am Cynthia McKinney. I am from the United States. I was born in the United States. I spent 4 years in the Georgia legislature, 12 years in the United States Congress. In 2008, I ran for President of the United States under the Green Party ticket. In late 2008, I attempted to go to Gaza in a boat. The Israeli military rammed the boat. I guess it was trying to kill us. And so we were left in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. So later in 2009, I decided to try and go to Gaza again by boat. And that time, the Israeli military kidnapped us and held us prisoner for 7 days.
They kidnapped you?
Yes, everyone on the boat.
Okay.
And
How
so
many people were you then?
There were 21 of us.
Okay, you were kidnapped for 7 days?
We were held in an Israeli prison for 7 days, yes.
Okay.
I was the last person to be released.
Okay.
And then I was finally able to get to Gaza with Viva Palestina USA and George Galloway. And then I started traveling around the world and became an international peace activist. And right now, I am trying to decide what 2012 will bring for me in terms of electoral politics in the United States.
Okay, great. So much effort in your lifetime. This is great. All right, one question.
Yes.
As you know, despite mankind's efforts for settling down peace in the world, some authorities believe that this aim is a little elusive. And we still haven't reached this, let's say, goal. What are the main barriers against reaching this goal?
Well, I can only speak from my experience in the United States. And so what I would say, since the United States, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, is the greatest purveyor of violence on the planet, and sadly suffers with guided missiles and misguided men, I would say that those who have worked very hard for peace, there was a time when we almost won. We almost won in the 1960s. But unfortunately, because we were so close to winning, the authorities fought back. We were so close to winning, and then they killed John Kennedy, our president. They killed Malcolm X. They killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
No, they were killed by the authorities?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is all documented. The COINTELPRO papers, the counterintelligence program papers, document the history of U.S. government, how can I say, efforts to quash dissent. And in the founding document, which was written April 4th, 1967, the U.S. government said that they wanted to misdirect or otherwise neutralize certain leaders in the black community, the Latino community, the Mexican American community, the Puerto Rican independence movement, the American Indian movement, all of these various organizations, you could say they were liberation organizations, they all came together in the 1960s and 70s. So that's when we were almost there. We had almost won so that we could change the United States. And then, as I said, the leadership of these organizations were targeted, they were put in prison, their marriages were dissolved. All of this is available publicly on the internet, all of these papers. And so the movement for peace and justice and equality in the United States just kind of became decimated. So now, what is it that we need today in order to revive what we had, that spirit that we had? Well, first of all, we have to understand the nature of resistance, and that has to become a part of our vocabulary. We are seeing that now in Latin American countries, from Bolivia, Venezuela, Cuba. We are seeing resistance, the idea of resistance, and people taking their own future into their own hands, their right of self-determination, and making a difference. What we just witnessed on the 63rd anniversary of the Nakba, with the Palestinian uprising once again, and the harsh Israeli reaction to the, how can I say, the desire, the overwhelming desire of the Palestinian people and the people in solidarity with them around the world, the harsh Israeli reaction to that, I think, will also galvanize the world in the middle of this Arab Spring that we are experiencing now. So it means then that we have particular work to do inside the United States. And we need a peace movement. But as I always say, whose revolution gets funded? The other side, the people who want to deny human rights, human dignity, the warmongers, their revolution is always financed. So if we could organize in such a way so that we could bring back the spirit of resistance inside the United States that we once had, organize it, finance it, mobilize it, I think we go a long way to having peace.
Definitely. You as a person who has devoted her life, maybe a big part of her life, to, let's say, fighting for peace, do you believe that conferences like this, the one which is being held in Tehran, could be helpful?
Oh, this is, I hope I have given something to the conference, but I can tell you that I walk away from this conference with so much more. This is my first visit, first of all, to Tehran, to Iran. This is my first real interaction. I shouldn't really say that. I went to school with many Iranian Americans, and so, but that was before even my own political birth. And so now I am able to appreciate that the people of Iran understand that word, resistance. Resistance to oppression. The people of Iran have determined that this little piece of soil on this planet belongs to them, and they will not cede it to anyone. It's remarkable, it's refreshing, and it's inspiring.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your great opinions and ideas.